Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily Hessler. This card for today is inspired. Actually, I've been inspired for a long time to create this, but I received the things I needed to create this a couple of days ago. So when I got it, I had to create this card because I've been longing to do it. The first thing I'm doing here is that I'm taking a stamp from Panduro. I've been having this stamp for a while and I don't know if it's in store anymore or so on, but you can always take another stamp that you like. I've been choosing this because I love this pattern. I think it's fun to color in and use as a background these swirls. Here I'm just trying to figure out in which angle I'm going to press stitch this down on top of the paper. This paper is a little bit special. I went to a store called Maton here in Sweden to check for some good watercolor paper, and I found out that the Bristol smooth watercolor paper is the best to create this that we're gonna do today. After I've been coating this with some Ranger embossing powder, that was a clear one, I'm gonna use my new Sig Clean Color markers, and I've been longing for this so long, so I'm so happy to have them. I will be talking a little more about these markers when I know a little bit more about them. I've just been having them for like a couple of days. I think it's like 4 days or something. So they are really new to me too. So I'm gonna show you a little technique today, and I hope I will be better and I can teach you more about them. So here you can see me take one of the lightest markers, and I'm just scribbling on some color to this paper. Then I'm going in with a darker green color, and all the colors will be listed down below, but I will be trying to tell you which ones I'm using. It's the pale green, the May green, the light green, and the mid green, and they are all having numbers that start with a 0, 4, and so on. So here I'm just taking some markers and that's a watercolor pen that I'm using to just make them blend a little more to each other. And I hope you can see that this actually blends very well on this smooth card. Sorry, I want to say cardstock every time. It's a smooth watercolor paper, of course. And I've been watching a lot of tutorials when people use this Sig Clean Color. They've been out on the market a couple of years, but I recently got my eyes on them and had to have them. But people have been experimenting a lot with which watercolor paper they should use, and I went on their direction and just asked my local shop if they had something of that, and they had. So I think this works great, and I'm gonna try some other papers too, but if this works for me, I'm gonna use it. If you saw in the beginning when I showed you my box of clean colors, I have coated them on the top of the markers, and actually I saw this from Jennifer McGuire. She had scribbled on some of the markers onto a cardstock or a watercolor paper, I don't know, and then she had punched out a little circle of them, and then she had put them on top of the lid on the markers, and she had to make them stay with some glossy accent, and I did the same. I think it works fine. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. I can link it down below for you. So now when we have some color on, you can see that it's starting to get a great shape, and I love this. I love green colors, and especially in May, everything here in Sweden is finally is finally breaking out, and it's so green everywhere, and the sun is shining and so on. I love it, and that is one of the reasons that I chose this color is because it reminds me of this season. And especially good. I was especially excited when I saw that one of the colors that I used were called May green, and I thought that was a fantastic name for a color. That is actually exactly how I feel when I see this one. And it's called 04047, so if you have that one, use it because it will make you happy. When I'm done with the coloring, I'm gonna speed this process of drying up with my heat tool. And when I'm done that, I'm gonna start working on the rest of the card. I hope I will inspire you to do something like this, because I had a lot of fun to do this. And you don't have to be that careful with the colors. They've done really well, and if you don't like it, you can just take it away or blend it out. So just to play around with it, you will like it, I promise. So here I have been taking a top folded note card, and as you can see, I have trimmed it down to be slightly smaller, and I also die cutted a circle out of some vellum. This circle is from Avery L, and it's called pierced circles, I believe. I'm also going to be using this die cut from fawn. It says congrats, and I'm gonna use it with some foiled paper, and this paper I just ran through the laminator with a foil on top, and then I die cutted it afterwards with that die from fawn. Here I'm playing around with some baker's twine. I'm wrapping it around the card base, and then I'm gonna tie it into a lacy bow. And when I'm done with that, we're gonna keep working on the sentiment for this card. I don't want this to be overwhelming. I want the background that we created to be the focal point of this card. And so I'm very careful with the accessories that I'm putting on this card. As you can see, I also die cutted a couple of small gold hearts, and I just used the same foiled paper, the scraps that were left when I die cutted the congrats, and that is gonna be the embellishment for this card. So here I'm just have been taking some adhesive to the backside of our panel, and then I'm carefully pressing that down on top of the card base. As you can see, I'm making sure and taking my time to carefully press this down. When I have pressed this down firmly, I'm tying another bow on this one because I thought it was a little bit messy. But here it is. I want it to be messy, but clean messy, if you understand what I mean. So here I'm just tucking that circle underneath the twine and playing around with the placement of this. When I'm pleased with this, I'm gonna take some adhesive to the backside of the word congrats. And when I've done that, I'm gonna press it down on top of that circle that we die cutted out of some vellum. And this will, since this is transparent, you will see the awesome background that we created through it. I'm just hiding some adhesive behind the word, and then I'm gonna press it down underneath that baker's twine and on top of our fantastic background. Here I'm just playing around with the placement of those hearts. I actually love these hearts. They are so much fun, and I'm using them to nearly all of my projects. They are the perfect size and the perfect shape of hearts. I don't like when hearts are like messy. I like my hearts to be clean and pretty like these are. And at the moment I cannot figure out in my mind where these small hearts are from. Could it be memory box? I don't know. I will link it down below of course for you. I hope you were inspired by this card. And I really like this card, and I'm excited to create some more cards with these markers. In the future, I'm sure you will see me use this a lot. If you haven't tried them, you can always buy the small boxes. I bought one of 48 and I love them, and now I'm wondering why I didn't buy the whole box. I believe that the largest box have 80 markers in it. So here we have the finished card. If you liked it, don't forget to give this card a thumb up. If you want to see more of my work, you can always subscribe to my channel here at YouTube or visit me at Instagram. My name is Scrapbooking_Sve. Until next time, have a great day. Bye!